Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to another best 1 to 17 for season 2022. And this afternoon's video is going to be the Warriors best 1 to 17 for the 2022 NRL season, when all players in the top 30 are fit and firing, they're all healthy and they're all ready to go. But before I get into the Warriors best 1 to 17 for season 2022, make sure you guys go ahead and like this video. Comment your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know your Warriors 1 to 17 in the comment section below. Also, the 8th man. Let me know who you would have for the Warriors. And most importantly, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn the notification bell on so you get a notification on your phone when I upload a new video or when I go live. So don't forget to do that. But without further ado, let's get into Nick from Australia, New Zealand Warriors best 1 to 17 for the Warriors 2022. Fullback, Reece Walsh. On the wings, Marcelo Montoya and Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. In the centres, Rocco Berry and Ewan Eagan. In the halves, 5'8", Chanel Harris-Tavita, halfback Shaun Johnson. The front row is Matt Lodge and Adam Fennell-Blake. The hooker is Wade Eagan. In the second row, I've gone with Ben Murdoch-Masila and Josh Curran. The lock is Tohu Harris. And on the bench, I've gone with Cody Nikorima, Bunty Afoa, Aaron Penney and Eli Katoa, and 18th man is Adam Pompey. That is my Warriors best 1 to 17 for the 2022 NRL season. Let me know in the comment section below what's your best Warriors 1 to 17. I'm really looking forward to seeing all the Warriors fans that watch my channel. I want to know what your best 1 to 17 lineup is. So let me know in the comment section below. But so I'll start with the fullback, obviously, with Reece Walsh. Now, I know Reece Walsh is not playing the first game due to suspension. I know he's not playing. Obviously, he had that off-field incident. But obviously, when he comes back from his little one-week ban, he will be the fullback for the Warriors. Obviously, with RTS now gone to crap union, I think Reece Walsh at fullback for the Warriors is a no-brainer. He's the future of the club if the Warriors can hold on to him long-term. So Reece Walsh at fullback is an absolute no-brainer. And let's get to the wingers now. Marcelo Montoya and Dallin Watene-Zelezniak now. Marcelo Montoya, he had some really good moments at the back end of last year. I thought he played really well for the Warriors. He looked pretty good in that trial game against Melbourne last week. I know it's a trial. Can't take much out of it, but the combination he had with Rocco Berry looked very good as well. So I think Montoya on the left wing for the Warriors would be a good fit for him. And there's not many good options for the Warriors on the wingers, with all due respect. They don't have a lot of quality outside back depth, I believe. So I think Montoya, he used to be a New South Wales Cup player at best, Montoya, but he's really improved his game and become an NRL first grader now. So Montoya is on one wing. The other winger is the experienced Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. We all know DWZ was the New Zealand Kiwis captain there for a while. Obviously, he won't be now going into the World Cup this year, but DWZ on the wing. I don't think DWZ is an incredible player. I don't think he does anything unbelievable, but he does his job very well. He's experienced. He's got leadership qualities. He knows how to do his job very well. I think he's a solid winger. I think he'll do a fine job on the wing for the Warriors this year as well. So Montoya and DWZ are on the wings for me. In the centres, Rocco Berry and Ewan Eagan. Now, Rocco Berry, a very good young talent. He had some nice games last year. We had a couple of really good games there. He looked really nice, and he has some nice touches there. I think the development of Rocco Berry is exciting. I like what I see from the kid. And if he gets a chance to play in the centres this year, I think he'll do a really good job. Whether he plays left side or right side, I think he'll play left side, to be honest. I think he will fit right in and do a good job at the Warriors this year. So Rocco Berry is in my centres along with Ewan Eagan. Now, Ewan Eagan is a bit of a wild card, isn't he? Because everyone's saying that, oh, no, he's a centre. Oh, no, he's a back rower. The Warriors have got that many back rowers in their squad. They don't need to play Ewan Eagan in the back row. Play Ewan Eagan in his primary position, which is centre. Leave Ewan Eagan in the centres. I think Ewan Eagan does a great job in the centres. He knows how to do his job very well in the centres. So I'd go with Ewan Eagan in the centres with Rocco Berry. Now, into the halves. Now, there's three guys you can choose for the 5'8" position. You've got Chanel Harris-Tavita, Cody Nikorima, and you've also got Ash Taylor. Now, I think Chanel Harris-Tavita deserves first crack. I think he deserves to start in the halves with Shaun Johnson to start the year. Obviously, round one will be interesting to see what they go with, but this is not round one. This is about when they're all fully fit. I think Nrl Harris Tavita complements Shaun Johnson a lot better than what Nicarima and Taylor could. I think Nicarima and Johnson could be a nice combination if they were to go with that as well. If Ash Taylor goes in there, well, things will just go from bad to worse. So I think Nrl Harris Tavita is the right man for the job. I think he'll start the year at 5'8", and I think even when everyone's fully fit, I think he should be in the halves. So Harris Tavita at 5'8" for the Warriors for mine would be the best way to go. Halfback, obviously Shaun Johnson. He's back at the club now for the Warriors. I think Shaun Johnson, he's an experienced halfback. He's a quality player. He's a great game manager, and I think he'll do a job. I think he'll do a great job at halfback. So Shaun Johnson at halfback is a no-brainer, without a doubt, one of the first picked. Now we'll go to the front row. The first front row I've got is Fennell Blake. Now Fennell Blake's an experienced player. Now we all know last year he missed half of the first half of the year last year, injuries and stuff. He came back and he looked outstanding in my opinion. Now, if Fennell Blake can stay injury-free, he could be the key to the Warriors' success. If Fennell Blake's not in the Warriors' forward pack, then the Warriors' forward pack is weaker and it's a bit harder for them to get going. So Fennell Blake is very important for the Warriors. Dare I say, Fennell Blake is basically their Tamalolo. The Cowboys have got, obviously, Tamalolo is their best forward. Broncos have got Payne Haas. Penrith have got Fisher Harris. Well, Fennell Blake is basically the Payne Haas of the Warriors, isn't he? Fennell Blake is so important to the Warriors, and if he's not there, well, their full pack will struggle. So, Fennell Blake in the front row, it's an absolute no-brainer, and we all know how good of a player he is. So, Fennell Blake goes into the front row, along with Matt Lodge. Now, Matt Lodge, he went there at the back end of last year, and he had some nice, he had a couple of really nice games there, Matt Lodge, and then his discipline obviously took over a little bit towards the back end of the year. He needs to try and get that shit out of his game, the discipline stuff, where he gives away a couple of penalties, sloppy swinging arms and all that. He needs to get that out of his game, and if he can do that, if he can keep his head on Matt Lodge, then Lodge and Fennell Blake could become a very lethal front row combination. So I think Matt Lodge is a very, very solid front row, and I think Lodge and Fennell Blake will be the best way to go to start the year. Now we'll go to the hooker position now, which is Wade Eagan. Now Wade Eagan, we all know he's probably got the hooker position wrapped up. Wade Eagan, I think he will play hooker. For the Warriors, I think he'll do a good job there. I'm not particularly a big Wade Eagan fan. I don't think he's a phenomenal player. I think he does his job, and that's pretty much about it. So, look, I think Wade Eagan at dummy half of the Warriors, they probably could do better, but there isn't really anyone else on that roster that could really threaten him for his position right now. So I think Wade Eagan will be the hooker for the Warriors. Now, the back row, Ben Marcelo and Josh Curran. Now, I'll start with Ben Marcelo. Now, when Ben Marcelo went to the Warriors, I said he must be starting back row. If you try playing him in the front row, it ain't going to work because he's not a middle forward. He's an edge player, always has been. And I don't care how many times you want to play him in the front row, it ain't going to work. Now, when Ben Marcelo came off the bench for the Warriors last year, his impact wasn't great, just didn't look the same. When Marcelo started for the Warriors, he looked outstanding. You get him close to the line with the half, he is a very hard man to stop, and he's a very dominant player. I know he has his issues sometimes where he does tend to have a few errors here and there and can be a bit lazy at times, but you get Ben Marcelo fit, you get him firing, you get him focused, he will be very lethal for you. So if Nathan Brown can get the consistency out of Ben Marcelo in the back row is just an absolute nightmare, and good luck to all the small halves out there that are trying to stop that close to the line. So Marcelo in the back row is frightening. So I'd go with Marcelo in the back row, along with Josh Curran. Josh Curran, another player last year who looked outstanding when he came back from injury, looked phenomenal. I think Josh Curran on that right edge could be lethal with Shaun Johnson. I think that combination could be very good. I'm a fan of Curran. I think he's a great Indigenous back rower. I think he'll get better as the years go on as well. So Josh Curran, He's a player that I'm excited for 2022. I think he'll be in the back row. But Marcelo, now the lock, I've gone with Talia Harris. Now Harris is obviously the captain of the club. I think Talia Harris is a very, very good player. Obviously out for the first couple of rounds due to injury. I think Harris, he brings that experience. He's got a bit of leadership in him as well. Harris is a quality player. My only concern with Talia Harris now is his injuries and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes this year. But I think Harris, great player, and he'll be in the starting side when he comes back from injury. Now we'll get to the bench. Jersey 14, Cody Nrl. Nrl, he can play any position. He can play fullback. He can play in the halves. He can play dummy half. He can play around the lock position if need be. He can even play in the centres if you had to. Nrl, he is the perfect 14 for the Warriors. For this rotation, I think Nrl is the perfect 14 for the Warriors. And you look at Nrl and you go, right, off the bench is at 14. It's just frightening. So Nrl on the bench, I think, is a great thing for the Warriors. Now, the front row, the bench I've got for the front row is Bunty Afoa and Penney. But Bunty Afoa, man, is a good player. Now, I know he has some issues here and there, Bunty Afoa, but coming up the bench, man, he's a good impact player. I don't think starting Bunty Afoa does him any favour. He's a genuine, good bench prop. Comes off the bench, lays a good impact, and I think he will be on the bench again for the Warriors this year. Along with Penney, who was at the Melbourne Storm, now gone to the Warriors. Obviously, when players leave Melbourne and go to other clubs, you've got to be careful because they're not always the same players. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But Penney, he's young, he's talented. I like the kid a lot. I think he'll do really well at the Warriors off the bench. I reckon he could push for a starting spot as well. So Penney, for mine, he will be on the bench. The last player I got for the bench is Big Eli Katoa. Now, most people would have him in the back row and not consider on the bench, but I think Eli Katoa last year, when he came off the bench, he played a little bit of front row off the bench, which looked pretty good. He's obviously a good back row. He's an edge player. Looks very well. And I think Eli Katoa on the bench is would be a good rotation for the Warriors for season 2022. And last player I got is 18th man, and that's Adam Pompey. Adam Pompey, he can play in the centres. He can goal kick. He can play in the halves if need be. He can play hooker if you needed him as well. I think Adam Pompey is a very versatile player. I think most 18th man players this year are going to be quite versatile. So I think Adam Pompey at 18th man would be the best thing for the Warriors. Now, guys, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed my best Warriors 1-17 for season 2022. If you did, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Leave your Warriors team in the comment section below. Anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. Have a good night, and I will see you guys in the next one.